Hey guys, this is Bharat and welcome to Bharat's Kitchen with khatti meethi dry fruits kachori. Now to get that khasta kachori, you need to keep in mind three things. First, your dough should be soft, that is, it should have ample amount of water. Second, for the kachori to be khasta, it should have enough amount of ghee or any form of saturated fat. Third and the last is that you need to cook your kachori on a medium to low flame, and for the whole time that you're frying it, the temperature should be even. Okay, so let's begin with it. So first we need to begin with making the dough for the kachoris. So in my bowl I've added some maida or all-purpose flour, and to this add some salt. Then comes in our room temperature desi ghee, and now as I've told you earlier, to get that khasta effect you need to use a form of saturated fat, which is desi ghee in this case. And by the way, saturated fat is fat which is a bit solid at room temperature. You know, like dalda or desi ghee or butter. So therefore you cannot use your refined oil in this case. But the key point here is that you need to mix your ghee thoroughly throughout the flour before adding water. And yes, the amount of ghee which I have added is about 1/4 of the quantity of the total flour. So mix everything for about 5 minutes and then you'll get something like this. You can see that the maida has become a bit yellowish in color, and when I combine the dough, it combines well enough. Alright, time to knead and combine the dough. So add ample amount of water, and remember, you need to make a soft dough here. So I'm adding about half a cup of water, and you first need to combine the dough. And when it all comes together, start kneading it. This will take you a good 5 to 10 minutes, and if you don't knead the dough very well, gluten will not develop and the kachoris will not be able to puff up. After about 10 to 15 minutes, you can see that the dough has become quite smooth. But to develop more gluten, I am going to cover the dough with a damp cloth and let it rest for about 30 minutes. Alright, in the meanwhile, let's prepare the other stuff that we're gonna need. Now, as I've told you that you can make this kachori really very quickly. So for the stuffing, here comes our secret ingredient. That is, for the stuffing, I'm using bhujiya instead of besan. Now this is not aloo bhujiya, this is your normal spicy bhujiya which is made up of besan, and since it's fried, the besan is already cooked. So what I've done here is coarsely ground the bhujiya. Next, you're gonna need some dry fruit, as it is a dry fruits kachori. So here I'm using some almonds, some cashews or kaju, and some raisins or kishmish, and you need to chop them roughly. And yes, don't chop the raisins here. Alright, so in a separate bowl, take your coarsely ground bhujiya. To this, add your chopped dry fruits. And finally, to combine it all together and give it that khatta meetha taste, add your khatti meethi Imli ki chutney. Now for the recipe of Imli chutney, you know that you'll find it in the description bar, or you can click on the I button wherever. I get confused all the time. So in your kachori, you have your khatta meetha taste from the chutney, and the heat is provided by the bhujiya, which is spicy. So mix everything together, and yes, you need to get your hands dirty here. And if at any point you feel that the mixture is dry, then add more chutney. And if you feel that it's wet, then add more bhujiya. But to be honest, I would rather prefer to make a little wet stuffing so that it holds together and combines well enough. Now before we make the kachori, you first need to make the filling balls. As you cannot have dirty hands while closing the kachori. अगर हाथ में कुछ लगा होगा तो जब बंद करेंगे तो उसमें cracks आने के chances बहुत हैं. So that is why you should have clean hands while closing the kachori. Alright, time to check on our dough, and you can see that it's become really very smooth and soft as well. And as I told you, you cannot have dirty hands while closing the kachori, so you need to make all the dough balls beforehand. Now take one of your dough balls, keep it at the palm of your hand and start pressing at the center with your thumb. Remember, at this stage you need to keep the dough thin at the center and thick from the sides. Now add your stuffing ball and gently try to stretch the dough until it covers the whole stuffing ball. And as you cannot have any cracks while closing the kachori, so at this point when you have to close the kachori, start pinching both the corners together and keep rotating it from the bottom. Use your thumb and your index finger and try to roll it a little bit so the excess dough will come up by itself. And then you'll have a perfect kachori without any cracks, and that's how it is done. So fill all the kachoris first and then we're gonna start to fry them. That is, you need to fry all the kachoris together so that the heat is evenly distributed. So now it's time to cook. So keep your kadai on a medium to low flame, which would be around 150 degrees centigrade. And when the oil is hot enough, drop in all your kachoris. Now I know the kachoris will take a lot of time to cook. This will take you easily 15 minutes to cook very well, as it is a puff pastry. So cook on a medium to low flame for about 15 minutes, and remember, don't stir it a lot, otherwise your kachori can burst. So fry them until they are golden brown or until they look like this. Now guys, you can see that my kachori is well closed. The best part is that it didn't burst while frying. And you can see how well it is cooked. And for the khastaness, just see this. You see how crumbly the pastry is. And that's how a dry fruit kachori should be. So happy Holi guys. I hope this video isn't too late. It is Holi today and I'm going to play it with my friends just now. So my friends are here to play Holi. So happy Holi to you guys. Enjoy the Holi. Or gubbare mat marna yaar. Ande maar lena. The same joke. The same thing. I'm all fine. Who were asking about my health, and yes, the cake recipe is coming next week really soon. I'm going. Bye. See you tomorrow. See you next week. Pakka. And if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Bye 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 bye. Happy Holi. So there you go guys, how to make your khatti meathi dry fruits kachori. As always, you'll find all the list of ingredients and their measurements on my website. And if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Do subscribe to this channel. And yes, if you want the videos in Hindi, then you can subscribe to my Hindi channel as well. You can buy all the stuff that I use from the links given in the description bar down below. Until then, I'll see you all next time.